Holy smokes, fellow Blues fans. I'm Nico Plug, creator of the Blue Blog here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. And I'm pleased, so pleased, to come back to you guys and just say that the St. Louis Blues beat the Colorado Avalanche 8-2. Completely dumbing these posers in Ball Arena. All seriousness, we know how good this Avalanche team is. But it's kind of starting to see that goaltending, I feel like, for them is a big issue. And the St. Louis Blues for sure took advantage of that early, and especially in the first period, and built momentum from there, plus with Binnington as well. So it's nice to see that the Avalanche are humans, right? And the Blues look hot. I'm going to talk about this in order because my Instagram didn't give me too much room to play with here, right? So first period started off looking fast, and what I said in my pregame, I said you got to score early, get momentum going early. What do? Krug rips one from the point off Buchnevich and Schenn, off Gerard, I believe, and in the net. In the first minute of this game, the St. Louis Blues are up against the Colorado Avalanche in Colorado, 1-0. After this, the Avalanche came out and pushed really hard to get a goal going, but Binnington stood strong. I mean, the Avalanche obviously made our D-zone coverage look absolutely silly. Their forecheck was way too much, and a couple of D-zone turnovers and a couple of dangerous chances. But, we stood strong, had a couple of good lucky bounces, I guess, considering that the Avalanche missed the net on a couple of those good chances. But Binnington, for the most part, stood absolutely strong, and I mean strong, for this first period. After the Avalanche had that little push, then the Blues would start pushing back. They ended up getting a power play. I feel like that first unit was okay. I believe it was that first power play where it was okay, but no goal, obviously. Now I feel like they're 1 for 36 for the time being on the power play. For the rest of the first period, I really felt like it was kind of a 50-50 game. Avalanche would come down, get their chances. Blues would come down, get their chances. But something I was really impressed with the St. Louis Blues is using their speed. Their tape-to-tape passes this entire game, and being strong on the puck really helped them secure this 8-2 victory over the Avalanche. But eventually, Buchnevich and Schenn would score his second of the game from Brandon Saad. Saad does what he normally does. He uses his speed, has a breakaway. He's got McCarr on his back, protects that puck, drops his shoulder, kind of leans on it on the forehand, misses his chance on the breakaway, just throws in front of the net. Buchnevich and Schenn's right there, redirects that puppy. It goes in. Buchnevich and Schenn has a second of the night. Blues are up 2-0, but just about a minute later, the Blues will get another chance from Robert Thomas would get this puck. Beautiful pass over to Torrey Krug and would bury this with a second remaining in the period. The St. Louis Blues are now up 3-0 in Colorado against the Avalanche. Beautiful first period, I thought. The Blues offensively looked so hot. Defensively could have used some help, but this is a huge step in the right direction. Second period was it was solid. Still some of the same thing, but the Avalanche were clearly 100% trying to get back in this game. They kept pushing until about the halfway mark. I believe about 12 minutes in, or maybe around 11 minutes in, the Avalanche would get a power play. St. Louis Blues would do a great job on the PK. Binnington also making some fantastic saves on the PK. And what do you know? Parayko gets this puck around the slot area, or a little bit above the slot area, passes to Sundqvist, and it's a 2-on-1 Sundqvist and Buchnevich. And Sundqvist, which I did my play of the game on Instagram, a great little play, holding it forehand on his right side, really quickly going backhand, saucing over the defenseman, and Buchnevich is right there crashing the net. Redirects this puppy, and Buchnevich finally finds the back of the net. He's been itching for it. He said in an interview that, he can't finish, and he sucks at finishing, but, this isn't the last we'll see of Buchnevich either, especially shorthanded too. So, now, the St. Louis Blues are up 4-0 in Colorado. It's feeling really good. Really good. The Blues are now kind of going. The Avalanche still kind of pushing back. I'd say about 16 minutes in, the Avalanche would score from Rantanen. It was a good tip in front. The only thing that could really beat Binnington this game was really a tip, and Rantanen got it. Good tip for the one game now. Not a big deal. But before the second period ended, the St. Louis Blues would get a power play with about a second to go, as Oscar Sundqvist was literally punched in the face by Thomas Tatar, who was on on one after Jake Neighbors kind of hit maybe Miles Wood when the puck was up, and it was deemed a hand pass, and Tatar didn't really like that. That same shift, he kind of went out. He was heated. Really gets Sundqvist hard, but you know what? You got to take a hit to make a play. Blues are going to be on the power play to start the third period. At this moment, to start the third period, I was unfortunately getting food for my girlfriend over here who's laying. And I don't know if she's waving. She's saying hello. You see her little foot. Yeah. But when I get home, next thing you know, the Blues have 2 power play goals to start the third period. And one was from Buchnevich. It was a beautiful feed from Thomas across the net. Buchnevich, nice little, I guess, small little one-timer. Goes that bottom corner. And it's in. Blues finally get a power play goal. Now they are 2 for 37. And then I guess there was another power play. I didn't see how it happened. But Braden Schenn, a one-timer kind of in the top of the slot. Absolute ripper. This puppy goes in for the hat trick, assisted by Kyrou and Thomas and Kyrou. So Thomas already right now has 3 assists this game, and this won't be the last we see. The rest of this game really felt like the St. Louis Blues. Blues took over. The Avalanche felt like they had nothing left in the tank. They gave up. Blues would have so many great chances coming in. Buchnevich would have a couple chances. Schenn would have his almost 4th of the night. But eventually the Blues would go shorthanded again. And what do you know? We have Pavel Buchnevich on a breakaway bearing this puppy on the backhand for his hat trick. So we, as Blues fans, are so fortunate to see, 1, the Colorado Avalanche lose in Colorado against the St. Louis Blues, and 2 St. Louis Blues hat tricks from 2 different players, from Braden Schenn and Pavel Buchnevich. So Buchnevich finally found the back of the net, getting a hat trick. This one assisted again by Thomas. Thomas with his 4th assist of the game. He didn't score, but let me tell you, Robert Thomas has been the best player on this roster by a far margin. I don't think there's anyone on this team who could even compare to Robert Thomas. I know I'm kind of riding him a little bit, but like, this kid looks absolutely unreal. And for the next 8 years at $8 million, sign me up. He's finally looking like a first-line center, generating space, generating plays, creating plays, offensively great. Defensively has been working hard. You know, he's been winning puck battles. He's been getting in there. I respect the grind from Robert Thomas, and it has been absolutely beautiful. I love it. So, now, at this point, the Blues are up, 6-1? Or 7-1 at this point? I don't know. Either 7-1, 6-1. I think it's 7-1. But this isn't all we see. Still, the Blues keep trying, and I think it's Provestov in that, who lets up. He actually was contested when he came in after the Schenn goal. He had a couple good chances, a couple good plays. Buchnevich on the breakaway, not much he could do. But then here comes Toropchenko somewhat on a breakaway. He couldn't really get that in on his backhand, but then stops in front of the net, picks up the puck that was loose, and buries us in between the legs. The St. Louis Blues are up 8-1 in Colorado Ball Arena against the Colorado Avalanche. Absolutely unreal. And with about 27 seconds to go, Jack Johnson would score, making 8-2, which was really funny because there were "Let's Go Blues" chants in Ball Arena for this one. So, let's talk about everything. Right? First, I want to shout out the goaltending. Jordan Binnington absolutely lights out. He stops 36 of 38, posting a 470 or a 947 save percentage on the night. If he didn't let up that last one, it would have been even better. He played absolutely unreal. Any chance that Colorado had on the power play, 5-on-5, he was there to stop it. Binnington played absolutely lights out, and we love to see this from our starting goaltender. And I mean, worst comes the worst. It bumps his trade value. I don't want to trade him, but I know the Oilers are looking for a goaltender. So Edmonton, give me Connor McDavid for Jordan Binnington, 1-for-1. And I think it's a fair deal. Robert Thomas, like I said, absolutely been lights out these last 6 games and has been the best player on this roster. Another thing I'd like to add, this 4th line looked great. Sundqvist looked great. Neighbors set up a couple of good chances. Nice to see him going. The second line looked good with the Schenn-Saad combination. Kyrou, I didn't really see much. Kapanen left the third period with an injury, didn't return with about 17 minutes to go, or 3 minutes in that period. On a breakaway, had a good chance, kind of fell over, went straight in the boards, didn't return. So hopefully he's okay. Pavel Buchnevich, like I said earlier, said in an interview, he sucks at finishing. Now he finishes 3 times. Hopefully he can wake up and start getting going because he's had some great chances. He needs to get going. Braden Schenn, same thing. And I mean, literally same thing. Buddy couldn't really finish. Offense wasn't going, but it's nice to see him score 3. I think it was his 3rd career hat trick. Congrats to him. Absolutely unreal. Torrey Krug, finally these last 3 games. Got to shout out you. Finally waking up. Finally. The first few games of the season, Torrey Krug absolutely looked like a potato. Now Kruger is looking like a Norris winner. That's over-exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Krug has woken up. Also, a big shout out to Colton Parayko this entire season. I felt like he played unreal. He's playing a little bit more aggressively, active with his stick. He's looking fast. He's not scared to activate, shooting the puck a little bit more, generating offense as a big defensive defenseman. Great to see from him. Scott Perunovich, it was nice to see him back in the lineup. I felt like he did pretty okay. He had one little mishap when he was behind the net and he blew a tire, which generated a chance for the Avalanche, but ended up being okay. Yeah, so offensively, this team woke up. I really hope this could keep going. The next game for the St. Louis Blues, let's find out really quick. The next game for the St. Louis Blues is going to be on Tuesday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that's going to be a tough matchup, even though the Lightning are kind of mid this season so far. But, you know, the Blues have to capitalize on how the Lightning don't really have a starting goaltender at the moment, and they could actually get a 3-game win streak. So they play the Lightning next, and then it's the Sharks after that. We know how the Sharks are, so it's looking really good. I also wanted to pull up. I have Money Puck open again. Let me make sure that we're okay. Wanted to pull up the deserve the win meter. It's going to be 61% to whatever. So we actually legitimately did outplay the Colorado Avalanche. Yippee. Expected goals down here. Actually, I'm a little surprised that the Avalanche. I'm not too surprised, but just a tad bit. I feel like we did have a lot more expected goals. And this is the second straight game with 4.5 plus expected goals. So offensively, this team is clicking finally. It's great to see, especially after the start of the season where it was just so concerning. And also fantastic to see the power play start lighting up as well. I also posted on my Instagram too. I said, give me post-game thoughts, guys. So I will go over that really quick. La 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 la. Let's keep scrolling. It's loading. But as that's going, let's take a peek at expected goals all situations. Toropchenko, you know, he has been a absolute lights out bottom 6 winger. I'm really impressed with Toropchenko so far this season. Buchnevich finally getting on the board. Kasperi Kapanen is up here. Kapanen, I really hope he's okay because he is one of the fastest players on this team. And if this guy could get going offensively, it's going to be game over because Kapanen, you could see the potential offensively from him, but I mean, it's just tough to get going. You need to find a way to get something and you get going. So now I got it right here. NMac_15 responded to my question sticker with goaltending situation. No, I don't think there really is a goaltending situation. I think we're set up exactly how we want to be. Bennington is probably around his late 20s, maybe start of 30s right now. And we have him signed for a few more years. And we have Joel Hofer coming in. He's 23, 22 years old. By the time Bennington is done and over, Hofer will be ready to take over that position. And Hofer already kind of looks like he can take over that position. It's just Bennington. It's playing absolutely lights out. Nothing you can do. This kind of reminds me of a few seasons ago with the Hofer-Bennington duo, where, I mean, this time Bennington's playing unreal, but where we had 2 starting goaltenders we could actually trust. Though about midway through the season, it was more Hofer than Bennington, but, you know, in that playoff run, we relied on Husso. Husso played good for the first few games, kind of fell off a little bit. Bennington comes in, takes a series against Minnesota, plays great against Colorado, gets injured, and then Husso comes in. So, and still plays pretty all right. So, this is a nice 1A, 1B situation, which we would love to be in. We don't want to tire Jordan Bennington out, having him start 65 games this season. So, Hofer could for sure take a big load, and I'm confident in Hofer's ability to win games. Adams_Matt22 responded to my question sticker with, the Blues are playoff contenders. You know, if they can keep this play up, they are. They are. If they could keep their defensive structure, if Bennington could keep playing the way he is, and if offensively this team could keep at it, this team is a playoff contender. I'm not going to say cup contender, but they're for sure going to make playoffs, and I could easily see them being the 3rd in Central or the 1st wildcard spot. if it keeps up. We do know that this team are kind of mental midgets, and they will fall off at some point. It's bound to happen. It's not going to keep up for the other 75 games of the season. But, you know, I have a feeling in my gut right now that this is going to spark a win streak for the St. Louis Blues, and we will be looking so good. We might fall off in the middle of the season, but it will be so far ahead to where I feel like we would secure a playoff spot for sure. Even going maybe 500 for the rest of the way, or maybe like 550 for the rest of the way, we'll be in playoffs. I am confident in that. We might even steal a series or two, especially against Colorado, because Bennington has been absolutely unreal. And I am all on board for that. Thriller responded to my question sticker saying, yo. Yo. And let's see. I think that is actually all I got. So, I'll try and leave my Instagram and the link, but every time I try it doesn't work out, unfortunately. Hopefully the sound is okay. Shout out to Connor Harris, my boy, for watching all these videos and, you know, texting me about him and how I can make him better. So Connie is an absolute beauty. And him and I are going golfing tomorrow morning with a couple of our buddies, so that'll be a blast. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. Please like, subscribe, follow the Instagram at Blue Blog over there, and subscribe to this one. I already said that. I'm just so pumped. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped that we won in Colorado 8-2. Absolutely mollywop, dummy them. Do you agree or no?
Yeah.
You want to say something about this game? Here.
They did really good.
You gotta speak up.
They did really good. Very, very good.
All
Against Avalanche, especially.
Okay, there you go. That's the girlfriend talking. She's giving her thoughts. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Probably only 10 of you, maybe even more if I'm lucky. But also wearing the Schenn jersey because Schenn got a hat trick. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.